In today's video, I'm sharing with you my first impressions on Noble Otter's latest release called Rawr, coming right up. What's up guys, welcome to the Lather Hog channel. I'm your host John, and today we're bringing you a shave with a brand new product in the shave den. This one is much anticipated. It is from Noble Otter and that's called Rawr. And this is one of their latest scents. It's also featured in their V3 soap base. So this is my first go with it. We'll see how it stacks up. It's got a wonderful backstory to it. It's kind of dedicated to all the fathers out there. The idea behind this scent from Cody, the owner and artisan behind Noble Otter, it's really a dedication to his two boys. If you're looking for something that kind of throws back to a simpler time, more innocent time, I think this might be a good release for you. First up from my razor is one I haven't used in a while, and this is from Yaki. I believe it's called the Melon Head. It is a double open comb style, and it's fairly efficient. Actually, it's quite efficient, but it's very smooth still. It's loaded with a brand new Astra SP blade, and it's going to help me mow down 3 to 4 days of beard growth with no problem. Next up for my brush is one that I just used in my last video, and that's the Omega Evo Special Veteran. It's got a wonderfully dense, soft knot, great backbone. We'll discuss this a little bit more when I get to the face lather, as I kind of put out the question in the last video, do synthetic brushes need a break-in period? Alright, so I've gotten some of the proto lather on my face here. I always forget to do the tub sniff, so I want to do that for you right now. And this is a fairly robust scent. I would say it's about a 6 or 7 out of 10. The soap is quite firm, actually. Very similar to Talbot Shavings V3. I know some of the other newer soap formulations, thinking like Milksteak from Declaration or Sago from Zingari Man. Those are softer soaps overall, so it's kind of interesting that both Noble Otter and Talbot kind of lean on the firmer side, which traditionally in the previous formulations, they've been on the more solid side as well. You see with the brush here, went with just over a 30-second load, and let's get to face lathering. It's kind of interesting as far as from the community, what soaps are kind of discussed to be harder to lather or not. I never had a problem with previous formulations from Noble Otter, but I do know more than a few folks found the V2 to be a little finicky. I think that might actually really have to do with hard water. Now let me put up the scent notes right now. What's presenting itself very strongly as I'm lathering here is that note of neroli, or just white florals in general. Dandelion is the other floral note that's listed here. But to tell you the truth, I'm not sure, or like kind of just out of thin air, I can't really say I know what dandelion smells like. I know it's not like an overly powerful floral note, but maybe combined with neroli, it's definitely there. It definitely gives you the picture of as a kid, playing outside in a field where there's baseball, tag, something fun like that. When I was sniffing from the tub, and even when I just cracked open the aftershave, when I was talking about this with a friend, they were saying how strong the note of orange is. And I think in the aftershave that really presents itself, but bergamot and orange are the two citrus notes that are listed here. Honestly, for me, that's secondary to the white florals that I'm getting out of the soap right now. There's something about this one too that kind of gives me a vibe of tea, which I really love tea scents, but also something that reminds me of a fougere. Maybe just with how kind of springy, how like outdoors, sunshine. Those are like the pictures that are coming to my head. It really does remind me of being a kid again. All right, so here we go with the initial pass with the grain. This razor has always had some great audio feedback. So we talked a bit about the scent and how big a fan I am with the theme and idea behind this soap release. But the other thing is this label is just awesome. Let me just put it up right now. I mean, it's the already awesome Noble Otter mascot wearing a dinosaur, but I would say he's wearing a Godzilla costume. It's adorable beyond belief. It's got a great story. I mean, what's not to like here? And just through the lather process right now, I found it very easy to work with. This is not an overly thirsty soap by any means. I went with a heavier load just because it's my first go with it. And I'm okay just, for this initial trial that I have more lather than I need. The funny thing about this razor is I don't typically like open comb. But the blade feel, there's more blade feel in any open comb razor, but this one doesn't overdo it. And then paired with the Astra SP, which, it's not insanely sharp. I think just it makes for a very comfortable and efficient shave. And given that it's a Yaki razor, I mean, you're not breaking the bank and picking this one up. All right, so I'm lathering up for the against the grain pass. Initial first pass, no problems whatsoever. Now I do want to call back to my most recent video talking about synthetic brushes, specifically the Omega Evo here. And yeah, it's your collection. Granted, it might not have every single shave soap, but I know Alex, who runs the site, does his best to keep it up to date with as many artisans as he can. On top of that, I do think there is user submission, so for folks who like to help out want to kind of complete that catalog, you're certainly able to do so as well. Otherwise, it's just really green. It's not a traditional fougere, but that's the closest as far as a category I could kind of file this into. All right, now one thing I want to try differently today, more so that this is the first impressions video, as opposed to software that I've had a chance to test out off camera and whatnot. But I'll leave about 5-10 minutes before we proceed, just to give you some feedback on the post-shave. But otherwise, you can see everything went really smoothly today. But I'll be right back, and then we'll see where my face is then, and then we'll finish off with the aftershave splash. All right, guys, and so now we're back, and the post-shave feels great. I do want to acknowledge that I've seen Jack from Virtual Groom Room and some other YouTubers do this when they're reviewing a soap, and just to really give, as accurate information as possible for post-shave feel. So it's great. I can't say if there's like leaps and bounds improvement as far as bases go. I can't say I'm one that I'm overly nitpicky about that, as long as I can get a good shave out of it. It's not drying the heck out of my face. I'm pretty happy. So I think at the very least, maybe if you have hard water and you had trouble with Noble Otter in the past, it might be time to give this latest base a chance in case you were really itching to try one of their scents. So with that out of the way, let's use the matching splash for Rawr. This is a very nice scent. I can generally say I'm really pleased with this. Very favorable first impressions of it. The hype in my mind did not destroy this experience at all. So to sum it up, overall it's a very green vibe, sweet, white florals. Something about it just brings you back to being a kid. You have less worry, less stress. So my question for you today is, have you heard of Noble Otter Rawr? And if you picked it up, what are your thoughts on it? Let me know in the comments below. I want to thank you guys so much again for joining me for today's shave. This scent, Rawr, it just really delivered on kind of what I had in my head, what this scent might be. As far as expectations go, I would say Noble Otter Rawr just exceeded them. All that being said, I hope you guys stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you next time. Take care.